All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my current events article. I pulled my article from Psychology Today, and the title is When the Teacher Insists He's Just Not Motivated. This is written by Barb Cohen. She is a special education advocate. And when describing a summary of this article, I'd like to point your attention to the highlighted sentence here. It says Leslie is often not motivated to complete her assignments. She hurries through and makes careless errors. Now, that was an observation by Leslie's teacher, and that observation was included in Leslie's IEP. But Cohen has a problem with these observations because she sees them a lot and she becomes a little aggravated and at times enraged, but she's not really surprised when she sees this. Primarily, primarily because teachers don't they rarely have acquire the skills to teach students with disabilities. She makes it clear that we only have one course of special education. I mean, for me, that's all I have. I only have one special education course that's required. Yet I have like three or four lesson plan, crafting courses that are required, but only one special education course. I mean, come on. You need as much knowledge as you can to help teach students with disabilities. That should be a top priority. And it's good to have this knowledge now because in the future, we're going to be really busy with all these other students, and it would be good to have the background knowledge so then we know what to do. Um, so that that's kind of one of the big things that I took away from this article is that, man, teachers, we don't have as many courses as we would like for special ed that are required for our major, and I think they should be required, more of them. Um, but another thing that Colin was talking about was how teachers have a sort of ignorance towards, let's say that there's a student with a disability, and they're sitting in class tapping their pen, but they're still paying attention to the material and everything. And teachers won't see that they're still motivated, to teach, and then they'll be like, "Hey, stop with the pen. Yeah, I don't see you look disinterested," and then if the student keeps doing it, they get sent to the office, they get a reprimand, whatever. But teachers, as Cohen puts it, most humans will place blame on other people rather than themselves. Knowing teachers, I've seen it happen quite a few times. So our goal is to not be ignorant and recognize that students with disabilities, you know, they might look unmotivated. They might just be like kind of like sitting, slouched down, or they're looking around the room a lot, but they might be paying attention to every single word that you're saying. And teachers should not be ignorant like that. So don't mind me. I'm looking at my notes because I had a couple things. But the last thing was how Cohen lists three best things that make an awesome teacher. And one of the ways is that teachers should always strive to create a great environment because where it's safe to ask questions and adjusting confusion and exposing the students to their peers. And with students with disabilities, if they have an unsafe environment, they become unmotivated. They're going to avoid tasks, and they're not going to acknowledge their confusion. So our goal is to create a safe environment, and that was another big thing, the last big thing from the article. But as for my reaction, I think it's a very important article to read because it further illustrates the fact that for our required majors, we should have more special education courses to help us acquire skills to help students with disabilities. Um, and as for using this information in the future, we should, uh, because the article was saying how we rarely have time in our career to do research to help students with disabilities. We should focus on planning ahead, to recognize that, hey, we're going to have to put aside some time here to help these students with disabilities succeed in the class. And that's one thing that we should do is we should plan, get as much background knowledge as we can to help students with disabilities in the future. So I'm over 5 minutes, but it's a very important article. So go ahead and read the rest, and I'll see you later. Thank you.